Hey rat bags, it's Jade with a grounded video today, taking a look at the chess set that I made. Now, I've done this video ages ago on my main survival channel, and then I moved all my content to the brand new channel for grounded. And so some of you guys may have never seen this. I was pretty proud of it. I spent a long time. I did lose some of the footage. I was meant to do a speed build. In the end, I showed you kind of the finishing shots of it. We did convert this into a proper board game. I was lucky enough to be joined by the community team from Obsidian. They invited me for their weekly stream and I showed them off, and we converted it into a kind of like snakes and ladders or bugs and bouncers board, and we had a little bit of fun with that. So why am I basically re-uploading the video? Well, a couple reasons, or a few. One, obviously the updates that hit, the hot and hazy and other stuff, it kind of messed around with the board for a while, but lately the actual set isn't looking too bad. The walls have actually appeared again and the outside of it is here. So I thought it was quite funny and I'll show it off once more. And I'm proud of the work I did. I like building, I would like to do some more. And then two, I want you guys to give me some ideas. What kind of mini games can I build? Is that something you'd be interested in if I start developing and making stuff that you can follow along? Simple stuff that you can just do, maybe give me some ideas as well, even maybe help me build it in the future. And then yeah, since I moved all my content over from my main channel, or basically all the fresh grounded content's on my second channel now, I thought some of you guys might not have seen this, so why not use it? And I am a little bit sick at the moment. I've got a really bad, terrible sore throat. It's not COVID apparently, but yeah, it's definitely sore. So I'm probably going to get a really bad cold or flu as well. So I figured this will be some content at least for you guys, so I'm not missing a day. Because I am promising now to do proper grounded content every other day at least, as well as the core keeper stuff. And yeah, I want to keep to a schedule. So today is a grounded day, and here you go. Enjoy the rest of the content. So there really isn't much I'm that particularly good at, and I certainly wasn't good at much in school, but I did learn to play chess at a young age and I ended up being chess captain all throughout high school. Yes, I know, I'm a dweeb. I actually really like chess. I've watched Queen's Gambit last year, that got me back into it a little bit, and I have been toying with the idea of doing some live streams and trying to play some online chess against players. I'm not that good anymore, it's been a good few years, and I remember getting my butt kicked by a couple of kids a few years younger than me at a big tournament, and that kind of put the end of me playing properly. But ever since Grounded came out and we started seeing some of the stuffed creatures that you could have, I had this vision of playing chess with the creatures. Now as it turns out, they're all just a bit too differently sized. You could try doing this. We messed around with this in my live stream I did, showcasing whether or not we'd be able to build a chess set that had all the actual creatures as the chess pieces. But yeah, you would need to have squares, literally 4 squares as one, and then some of the other small creatures would be just lost because they're so small. So we settled on the design of the mannequins, and I think this works pretty well. You're just gonna have to remember which is which. But you get the idea. I love this kind of thing, making a game into something else or doing different things with it. We obviously have got the basketball hoops, which I'm going to show you at the end as well. You could use this as a court or anything. So if you guys really want to see how to build this, hit me up with a like and maybe I'll consider redoing it, or at least showing you the chess set. I had mapped out exactly how many pieces you needed. It was going to be a full-blown tutorial, but I ended up losing about six and a half hours worth of actual content and coverage. Grounded is a stunning game. The lighting effects in it are probably some of the best I've seen in a survival game. I kid you not. I really do love the environment and the lighting in this game. So you can see as well, we've got a vantage point that you can overlook the chessboard, map out your next move, and then you're going to have to go down to the actual board and actually start moving the pieces themselves. And what a great idea from Obsidian, being able to just move stuff really quickly and easy. Might take it for granted nowadays, but a lot of games still have you having to demolish your workbenches or your storage. But the fact that you can move so many pieces wholesale just means that you can do stuff like this. You can actually make your own chess or drafts or whatever game. I'm loosely showing you guys how you can do it here. So obviously you just move your piece over and then swap it around. I left a spot to put the pieces. You can see me taking it and storing it just underneath where you sit, and that's where you can put stuff away to use for next time if you're changing up the game. Now interestingly, in some point they have said they're going to start adding user generated content, as in generation tools I should say, so that we could make our own kind of games or do our own mini games. That's what it shows on the feature board on the Grounded website. Now, it's been a long time since we even spoke or heard about any of them plans, if at all concrete or definite, but it is pretty interesting maybe if they do go down the route where we've got more creativity and we can make all sorts of custom levels or events or game modes. I think it'd be really super cool. But yeah, as I said, the lighting's really cool. One thing I do need to work out is some way to light the chessboard up a little bit more. I did try putting some torches underneath some of the floor pieces, but it still didn't illuminate as much. So maybe I'll have to think of another way to do it. But as it gets nighttime, you can see it's lovely, lovely atmosphere, but in the middle there, it's pretty still too dark. You can put torches on the back of mannequins, but you can't then move their mannequins once they've got a torch attached to them. So if you're watching, devs, please allow us to move a mannequin with a torch on it. That would be so cool if we can place it whole as an entity rather than just the mannequin with the armor pieces. But it's still such a cool feature we can do that. Again, there's such a great atmosphere in the game. Now, I am on PC, but I was using my Xbox character to do a lot of the actual building while I recorded my first person doing the work. I am using a mod because you can't get rid of the UI and some of the other stuff unless you're using the mod and the mod commands. So let's go and show you guys how I actually done it. So there you go, I'm positioning with my PC using the mods. I'm able to adjust my viewpoint and pretty much go without any arms waving about or anything. And then you can go ahead and start building and do what you want with. And then I did this not in creative mode. Obviously, I know you guys can follow this along in creative mode, but I was trying to make it so you could do this potentially in survival. Let me tell you though, it will take thousands of bricks, I kid you not. Definitely easily over 1,000. So here I was just adding some arches, and then I use the commands that adds a build function to it. So it pretty much just builds all the blueprints that you've just placed. So it's a really good, cool way of showing you guys how to do something, and you kind of get the idea. That's how I was able to keep track of some of the stuff, some of the items. But of course, all that's lost now since I have just lost the footage. Now the reason I did partially lose the footage was because I've reached the end of my space on my PC. 9 hours of recording with my settings quite high meant it was like over 160 GB. I hadn't realised that I was so low, and so I ended up deleting a few things, and I must have accidentally deleted the folder that had the footage. When I went to go look at it, see if it was in my recycler, it wasn't there because I deleted it straight away. So yeah, I was a bit testy and a bit salty for a couple of hours. But at least I've got the end footage where I could do the flybys and just show you a little bit of how I pretty much did this. So yeah, I will do this again, and if you want me to do some more builds, then yeah, I should be able to do some proper guides and show you how much of the resources you'll need to actually complete something. I tried making it still a bit fun, hence why I've got this Koopa face. I guess it looks a little bit like a Koopaling, or maybe a little bit more like a Toad character since we've got Rash from Battletoads in the game too. I do love building. You don't see it much on my channel, but it is one of my favourite things to watch. I used to watch a lot of Ark creators. I'm friends with a lot of Ark Survival Evolved builders over the years because it's pretty much the only content I really enjoy watching from that game. Never been into watching Let's Plays as much from other people, surprisingly. It's usually something more creative that I like watching. And then all I had to do was put the different armor sets. So as I said, you could make this much simpler. You could try and do maybe some bugs, a mixture of bugs and the mannequins. I think when I first did it, I think we had aphids or weevils as the pawns, but then I switched to having the ants. If it gets too confusing, you could use one side as aphids, one side as weevils. What would be the absolute best if you were just trying to make something like this would be if you could colour the mannequins, like if there's some sort of dye system. Now I do think they're bringing in some way that we're going to have cosmetic items for our characters, but I would still be really appreciated if we could do something to differentiate some of the armor sets. You know, if we could dye them somehow, or even if it's just the mannequins that we can actually make the colour different. And yeah, it's a little bit slow. If you guys want to play a game of chess with me, then I might do a Fan Friday very soon, or Thursday, and we'll actually just play some checkers or chess or drafts or whatever, and you guys can see if you can beat me. I've not played chess seriously for years, so maybe checkers might be the best thing, although I'm not particularly great at that either. So yeah, it could be a bit interesting to see how many of you lot can actually beat me. Just showing you the insides as well. I did decorate the insides and made it a little bit like they were guards all around, with the monstrosities being the guards and plenty of little plaques with the bugs. I left the middle section of the chessboard naked. I actually quite liked it. I felt like it was, you know, as if we'd come across some ancient structure and built around it, so I didn't want to demolish it too much. We definitely start need to get some of these water bugs as plaques, or being able to have stuffed water versions. That would be really cool. And we need spiders too. I'm sure that's all going to be coming in the future updates that they've got planned. And just showing off some more details around the side, so it wasn't all just mushroom bricks. I love the brick building now actually, the mushroom build sets are great. The curved pieces, it's just Grounded's come a long way in the last year. There are still a few niggles with the building, like you can't occupy certain spaces with stuff, like you can't put some of the diagonal fence posts and then have something alongside it like a wall or underneath it. So it'd be nice if they turned off the clipping a little bit more. I can't see why we can't have some of the clipping structures working together a little bit more. I'm just showing you guys where the king and the queen of the bugs sit and watch. And show you a full time lapse of from day to night, and you can really start seeing how dark it gets. So I've got to find some way to illuminate underneath it. Like I said, some people did say I could maybe put lots of torches there. I think if I went mad with 3 or 4 of them, maybe that would work, but I still don't think it actually illuminated enough. Originally I did do much more ornate roofs on top of the 2 structures where you sit to look at the chessboard, and I didn't like it. I went just a bit too mad. There was way too much going on with detail, as well as where you sit too. And I did try and make it look like it was being used by lots of people or lots of bugs, all sorts of stuff going on the outsides in and around. You can make this easily into a fort for a bit of command and conquer against each other, or a deathmatch arena. It's nice and simple, just move the ant heads to certain diagonal squares and that's it. You've got a draft or checkers board, depending on what you called it. If you want to be really extra, you could put these down, and you've got me to thank for that. One of the Grounded devs was talking in the Grounded Discord once, and I suggested that we are able to place some of these on the floor, as it would be good for mazes, because I imagine that we could do directions with the arrows. And he said, yeah, it shouldn't be no problem to implement, and they went and added it like the next month. So you could do all sorts with this, especially if you buy all the sign sets or there's a cheat to unlock them all in creative mode. You can make all sorts of games, not just checkers or drafts like I'm showing you guys here. I might have even got this wrong. Is it that many checkers or drafts in a row? I figure as well that you could maybe make some sort of snakes and ladders game. You know, find some way to have turns and roll a dice, or make a sign and you've got to throw a rock and try and get enough points. And you could go along the board and arrows would take you up towards the board, towards the end goal, come across a spider and you're going to have to restart all over again unless you jump over it, etc. You get the idea. So we can flesh this out. Next time you see me streaming or doing something like this, come and help me make a new game in Grounded. And if all that thinking's too much for you, then go ahead and become a basketball star. Again, this has been working correctly now for a while, but it's the first time I've played with it for the first time since like the beta. I do believe it's an achievement for getting one of them from a long distance, so I'm definitely going to be practicing a bit more. Let me know what you think about my build. Like I said, do give me encouragement if you want to see me actually show you guys how to make this. Hopefully I'll manage to rescue enough to show you guys the idea, and I will see you hopefully for more Let's Play Grounded content, guides, tutorials and much more. Thanks a lot for watching guys, I'll see you a lot later.